Hey guys, welcome back to another Gwent video. And today's video is the final reveal video for Thanedd Coup. If you guys missed it, yesterday we got a Gwent developers update where they went through all the previous factions cards just very quickly and then finally revealed the remaining 3 cards that we hadn't seen, which was the remaining neutral card and the remaining 2 Syndicate cards as well. So today I'm going to cover all the Syndicate reveals because I haven't done that yet, and of course go through the final neutral reveal as well. Now if you guys missed it, today, as of recording this video in a few hours, the new journey is going to be revealed. So we have no idea what it is yet. And there's also a bunch of cool new cosmetics coming. There's actually a leader skin coming for the Bloody Mistress, a Gurnakora skin that actually looks really cool. There's also a new card back coming, which is part of the Thanedd Coup bundle. I wonder if it's on the site here. I guess not. If I find the image, I'll look for it. You can purchase that, obviously. And there's also a new open bundle coming up, which is the summer bundle, which will give you a new board and a new card pack as well. And it looks pretty nice as well. But anyway, let's just jump straight into the final neutral card first, because I think this is actually a very interesting card. It is a epic spell, and it's called Verification. I have no idea what's going on in the artwork. It looks like the chair is turning into a bear, right? Anyway, this is a 6 provision epic spell, so another target for Gerhardt at 6 patience. Transform an artifact into an elder bear. If it's on your side of the battlefield, boost it by 4. Just bear with me. Ugh. Such unique flavor text there. Anyway, this is a really interesting card because this is essentially a more versatile version of the old Bomb Heaver, which was a very binary interaction, right? Destroy an artifact. But in this case here, it's quite flexible. You can use this on any artifact. You can use it on your own artifacts, which include scenarios, traps, and standard stuff like megascopes and everything. Or you can use it on your opponents as well, which means if you use it on your opponent's scenario, you deny them their scenario procs, but you give them a 6-point Elder Bear, right? Just quickly show you guys what an Elder Bear is, in case you guys have forgotten. This is the Elder Bear right here. 6 for 4, simple as that. So this card is really cool actually, because if you play it on yours, like trap or something, it places a 10 for 6, because it boosts it by 4 if it's on your side of the battlefield. So it's pretty cool actually. I can see this card actually being run as a deck option for those decks that do not want to run Heatwave, but still want an option to remove scenarios, right? Really, really interesting effect. I can also see ST Unitless running this, Squirtle Unitless decks, because they tend to run a lot of traps, and just being able to play this on one of your traps is pretty cool. Now you could say you're losing Eldin value. I don't think so actually. This is a 10 for 6. Eldin just gives you a 3-point for that trap. You're getting 10 for that trap, so you can use this on one of your traps, and then you can use Eldin on the remaining traps, right? This is a really cool effect, by the way. I love this card. I think this is a solid 4 out of 5. I think it's a fantastic effect, and just like just a deck option, I think this will definitely see play. Definitely. Heatwave is still better, obviously, because Heatwave is just to delete this card from the game. Just delete this. I don't want to go through this card, but for decks that have a lot of options like Purifies for defenders and stuff, Verification just seems like a really nice alternative and cheaper option to deal with enemy scenarios. You can also use it on Megascopes if you want. If you're playing against, for example, Foltest Inspired Zeal, you can just deny them one Megascope option before it spawns the card. Now, I don't think that's the best way to use this, simply because typically Inspired Zeal does run Siege, obviously, so you would want to obviously Verification their Siege. But just a thought, right? A really cool card. On the developer stream, it was revealed as a bronze, but that was confirmed to be a mistake. It is an epic spell, so you only can run 1 in your deck. So just bear with CDPR. Haha, you get it on the small mistake they made there. Anyway, this is a fantastic card. I think it's a solid 4 out of 5. I think it's an awesome card. Now, before I jump into the Syndicate reveals, I want to quickly go to the Mammuna card, because in my monster reveal video, I gave this a 3 out of 5. And I received a comment stating that I think undervalued this card. And looking back on it, I think this is a actually is easily a 4 out of 5 card. Yes, its options are limited to Gankian and maybe Griffin. Um, maybe from a couple of consumes here and there, but the tempo on Gankian is insane. This can potentially place a 20 on a Gankian. The first Gankian, you hopefully get 9 points from it, right? Goes to your graveyard. You then play Mammuna, so you consume that, so that's 2 plus 9, that's 11. And then you get Sabbath, hopefully. And the second Gankian, you hopefully get 9 value out of it. That's 20 points of play. With Relic Synergy, that's really good. So yes, I was wrong with the original, my original view on Mammuna. I definitely think Mammuna is a much better card than I gave it credit for. So yeah, I'm going to revisit Mammuna and say it's a 4 out of 5 card. Not 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 cards. So there you go. I do make mistakes, guys, and obviously, you know, I haven't played the card myself. So yeah, I think Mammuna is a much better card than I gave it credit for. Anyway, let's jump into Syndicate now that that's all out of the way. Let's just quickly go through their flavor text. Rules of the trade are simple. Pay your tributes, extract confessions, collect bounties. So, the 4 cards we see here are going to synergize with tributes, and they're going to synergize with bounties, obviously. Let's jump in with the common card first, which is the Scapegoat. A human 7 for 4, deploy. If there is no bounty on the battlefield, damage self by 3. Whenever an enemy unit with bounty is damaged, heal self by 1. Fact often gives way to fiction. So this card is an interesting Syndicate card because it's one of the few Syndicate cards in the game that doesn't interact with coins in any way at all. There are a few cards like this, you know, Procession of Penance, for example, some crime cards as well, like, why I cannot remember the crime cards. Faction, Syndicate. Yeah, Congregation, you know, there's a few cards in the game that just don't interact with coins, like Assault as well, Bare Knuckle Brawlers and stuff. But the point is there are not many, right? Now, Scapegoat here on its own in a vacuum seems like a decent card, but it basically reminds me of the Syndicate version of a Fish Flapper, right? It damaged itself on a deploy, in this case by 3, not 4. So it comes on the board as a 4 for 4. But whenever you damage a unit that has bounty, it just heals itself, right? So it seems like a decent effect, but the thing is, Syndicate has some really phenomenal 4 provision cards which I think means that this will never see play in at least those kind of bounty decks. If you look at Syndicate's 4 provision cards, you have much better crimes, which will see much more play in a bounty deck because they give you coins and they also can give you bounties. Slander, for example, Fist Deck, Dip in the Pawn is phenomenal with line pockets. Bloody Good Fun is an insanely good card. Shakedown is another fantastic one. So is Swindle, Assault. You even have, you know, Witch Hunters, just simply apply bounty. So Tax Collector, one of the best 4P cards in the game. Just look at all these cards. Passflower Peaches, Mutant Maker, so on and so forth. So I think there is no way that Scapegoat sees any play in a standard bounty Syndicate deck. I could see this, however, being seen. Sorry, let me just rephrase that. I could see this being run in a hyper thin Syndicate deck with a portal. You know, portal is actually pretty good with this. It just comes out as a 7, so it's good thinning, some decent points, you know. And hyper thin Syndicate is not the most viable deck, but it's a fun idea, right? So yeah, on its own, I think it's just 2 out of 5. I think it's a below average card for Syndicate. As I said, there's much better 4P cards out there. But in a hyper thin Syndicate deck, it seems like a really fun alternative to try out. So that's my opinion on Scapegoat. I love the artwork, by the way. I actually thought this was going to be a Nilfgaard card just based on the artwork. But yeah, it's a Syndicate card, so interesting. Alright, Rare Bronze is a confession. It's called Confession Extractor, and it is a crime. 5 provisions, profit 5. While in your graveyard, damage an enemy unit by 1 whenever you place a bounty on it. Counter 3. Whether they spit lies or cry truths, it matters not. The extractor always gets its confession. This is a really cool artwork. Artwork and card as well. This plays as in potential 8 for 5, you know, 9 for 5 in line pockets. Profit 5, first of all, is really good. In line pockets, you say profit 6 because obviously the passive. And anytime you apply a bounty while this is in your grave, you get free 1 point of damage on that card, which means your reach to kill that bountied unit is easier. Really, really good card in my opinion. A really, really good card. And you can also have two of these in your decks, right? So in your grave, sorry. So anytime you apply bounty, then that unit just takes 2 damage for free. This is really good for reach with either Witch Hunter Executioner, you know, Whoreson's Freak Show, just many cards in the game. Whoreson Jr. as well. And also the upcoming card right here, the Scoundrel, which I will talk about as well because it has very good synergy with Confession Extractor. I think this is a fantastic crime card. There's not many Profit 5 provision cards in the game. If we just look at Profit real quick. So this is a Profit 3, this is a Profit 3. Swindle is an example of a Profit 5 potential, but it's a 4P card which doesn't have any bonus effect. And I think the other one is, yeah, Eavesdrop, Profit 5. So yeah, like, Pickpocket is a Profit 7, / Profit 8 in a lined pockets deck. This is a Profit 6 plus potential 3 damage on top for just 5 provisions. Confession Extractor is a very, very good card. It's an easy 3.5. I think it's a fantastic crime. Super synergistic with bounty decks, and just great value overall. I think it's a really, really good card. Nothing much else to say about this. It also synergizes with the other card that was revealed, right? What's it called? Card types, special. Yeah, this one, Hysteria, right? So if there's no bounty in the board, if the enemy you're targeting doesn't have bounty, you apply bounty to it, and then you deal 3 damage. If this was in your graveyard all along, it takes 4 instead. It's a nice piece of synergy over there, right? Really nice piece of synergy. Very good card in my opinion. Very good card. And also very creepy artwork. Syndicate's artwork in this expansion has been very dark. Very dark. Like if you compare this stuff to like what's it called? Where's the card? I'm just, yeah, like look, Wretched Addict, you know, just a bunch of Syndicate cards are quite different in terms of their visual appeal. But yeah, this is definitely some of the more darker artworks you've seen for Syndicate. Anyway, let's jump on to the legendary card. This was revealed on the stream yesterday. Ignatius Hill, Epic Human Witch Hunter. 12 strength, 6 provisions. I believe is he Olivia's husband? The Witchfinder husband? Just based on the surname. Deploy. Damage this unit by its tribute cost. Tribute 9. Cancel the deploy ability. Whenever you place a bounty on an enemy unit, reduce this unit's tribute cost by 1. He's a good boy. I'm pretty sure he's talking about, this is referencing Ignatius himself and not the dogs. Just saying. Alright, first of all, this is essentially a new procession of penance, but for bounties, right? Simple as that. Best way to look at it is it's an alternative procession of penance, but that's synergized with bounty and not Firestorm tokens. So on deploy, in a vacuum, this places a 3 for 6 because it damaged itself by its tribute, which is 9, and 12 plus 9 is 12 minus 9 is 3, so you know maths. But whenever you place a bounty on an enemy unit, this tribute will go down by 1 each time. Now, on average, in a bounty deck, you probably are going to be able to apply maybe 4 to 5 bounties on average. So this tribute goes down to 5/4, which means if you slam this on the board, it probably comes down as a 7/8 for 6, which isn't amazing. So overall, I think Ignatius Hill is actually a pretty average card. It seems like a fantastic card at 12 for 6, but how many times are you actually going to be able to successfully apply 9 bounties in a game, right? Like, you can apply bounties, but you also want to successfully kill those bounties because you can only apply 1 bounty at a time, right? So you're losing value on applying bounty and then just reapplying bounty to something else. Now, you could also say, you know, I might as well just spend the tribute for 5, but that's a lot of coins you're spending just to get, you know, potential 8 for 6 or something. So I think this card is much better, honestly, with Madame Louisa, because Madame Louisa gives you a free tribute, and this just means you can slap Ignatius Hill as a 12 for 6. You know, compare this as to Savola, who's a 17 for 9, right? This gives you double the provision value, 12 for 6. Savola is just 1 point on the double, 17 for 9. So yeah, I think that's a decent comparison. 12 for 6 is fantastic if you can get it for free. Obviously, a lot of point slam just for a very cheap cost. Um, so in my opinion, an average card. 2.5 out of 5, honestly. However, Hyperthin Syndicate, funnily enough, gets another really good card as a target for them. So in Hyperthin Syndicate, you usually run Procession of Penance, which is this card over here, as their target, right? Because it's the highest base strength body that they have, and it's only 6 provisions as well, so it's very cheap to include in Hyperthin Syndicate. But now you can also run Ignatius Hill, so you can have 2 targets for them. And they're both 12, and they're both very cheap to play. So yeah, in my opinion, a really interesting and fun addition to Syndicate's Hyperthin deck. Is Hyperthin Syndicate going to be meta? I highly doubt it. The deck isn't terrible, but it's also not good. It's not Nilfgaard Hyperthin, right? But a really fun idea, definitely. Really fun idea. So in my opinion, in a actual bounty deck, I think it's an okay card. I think it's an average card. 2.5, maybe 3 if you actually go full in on bounties. But I still highly doubt you're going to be able to apply 9 bounties in a single game easily, and also get value from all those 9 bounties, right? But in a Hyperthin Syndicate deck, seems like a lot of fun. And again, the artwork is incredible. So yeah, that's my opinion on Ignatius Hill. Alright, let's jump into the final card, the Scoundrel. Human Witch Hunter, 12 strength, 10 provisions. This artwork is Fabian Hill, by the way. Fabian. So yeah, pretty exciting. So we've seen Fabian in the previous expansion, and now we see his alternate, his proper, look when he's on the hunt and doing his job. Also, by the way, that goat is the same goat that's on Hysteria. So there's some pretty good... Look at that. That's the same goat right there. Some pretty good storytelling right there. I love it. Anyway, deploy. Summon the top bronze unit from your opponent's deck to the opposite row. Then place a bounty on it. Tribute 2. Choose a bronze unit to summon instead, then place a bounty on it. Fee 1. Damage the enemy unit with bounty by 1. There have been sightings of a slender, sinister-looking man slipping in and out of shadow. Okay. The Hales must be in town. This card, when it first revealed, drove up a lot of controversy on Reddit. A lot of people were pissed off by the fact that Syndicate got another, point slam card for them. And something that also, kind of synergizes with deck manipulation, which is something typically Nilfgaard has, So a lot of people are like, why does Syndicate also have this now? It's already frustrating to play against with Nilfgaard, yada yada yada, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to jump into any of this. I'm just going to give my opinion on this card. This card is not overpowered. It's a very good card, but it's not overpowered in my opinion. First of all, I just want to quickly say these are Witch Hunters. I just forgot to mention, so it's actually more value for Tamara Strenger. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, what this card does is it's essentially a Tibor for Syndicate, right? Except, in this case, if you pay Tribute 2, you can actually pick and choose which bronze you want to yoink out of your opponent's deck. By the way, if you do pay the Tribute, yes, you will be able to see the entire deck of bronze cards of your opponent. You'll be able to see all the bronzes in their deck, and you'll be able to choose which one you want to yoink out. So there's some really cool interactions there. You can use this to brick their thinning cards, like if you're going up against monsters and they're running Archispore or Wild Hunt Rider, you can go and see that there's only one Wild Hunt in their deck, which means they obviously have the other Wild Hunt Rider in their hand, and then you can just choose that and brick it. Really cool, right? So so let's look at the maths of this card. It's a 12 for 10. Assuming you pay tribute, so that's 10 for 10 because we on average take 1 coin as 1 point. So 10 for 10 in that case. Minus X, X being the value of the bronze that was yoinked out. So let's say it was a 4, Wild Hunt Rider. So 10 minus 4 is 6. You then spend 4 coins to kill it because you apply bounty to it, right? So you want to kill it to gain the coins. So minus 4 again, because you spent 4 coins. So 10 minus 4 is 2. Then 2 plus 4, because you gain 4 coins back, is 6. Plus 4, because you just removed a 4 from your opponent's side of the board. So 10. So in that case, it places a 10 for 10. That also bricked your opponent's Wild Hunt Rider and gave you information, which is also extremely important, by the way. So that's the easiest way to look at this card. It just plays as a 10 for 10, assuming that the target you removed did not have armor, was not boosted, and did not have Veil. Simple as that. And assuming you played Tribute in that case. It's a 12 for 10 if you did not pay the Tribute, and assuming that the unit, again, was not boosted, did not have armor, did not have Veil, and you were able to spend, you had the coins to kill it. So if it was something like a a great sword, which is 10 strength, you obviously can't kill it, right? You'll have to spend Graydon or something, which is very expensive. In that case, this card is actually not good. So I think this card is being... I think it's a very good card, don't get me wrong. It's another spender, it's another fee spender for Syndicate, but it's not the most effective way to spend because you have to apply bounties to spend for this card. Some people are also confused by the wording of this fee. Damage the enemy unit with bounty. It's not damage a unit. But that's because this you can only apply one bounty on the board at a time. And you don't have to target with this card. You just click its fee and it automatically pings the unit with bounty. What this means is that you can actually ping down a immune unit. If somehow you applied bounty to, for example, Milva or Gabor Zigrin or Alpha Werewolf, which are all immune units, through, let's say, Witchfinder, you can still damage them with this fee ability. That's all this means. So don't get confused, guys. It does not mean that you can only target the unit that the Scoundrel pulled out. That is not the case here. So hopefully that clears that up. So yeah, I think the Scoundrel is being... I think it's a very good card. I think it's a solid 4 out of 5 card. Because it's a huge strength, which it's a high strength, which means that it's very difficult to remove unless you use Heatwave, Locket, or use Yennefer's Invocation, right? Or Toll removal. But that's expensive to remove, right? And secondly, it's information. It gives you information as a player, and it tells you, okay, this is what my opponent has running, and I can brick them as well. For example, you can brick them off their Mammuna target, you know? I was just talking about how Gankian is a very good target for Mammuna. Now, if you know that the monster player is playing Mammuna, you can just yoink out their second Gankian. You deny the deploy ability of that Gankian, and you also potentially brick their Mammuna. This can also be used on other brick targets, like if they're playing Gwent, you can just brick one of their Witchers. You can deny them really significant bronze deploy abilities, right? Really effective in that case. I think the Scoundrel is a very powerful card. I think it's a 4 out of 5 card. It's not 5 out of 5. It's not a 6 out of 5. Like some people are, crying it is. It's not. It's a 4 out of 5. A very strong effect, but also has some limitations. Some people have said, oh, why is it a 12? Why does this card play for more than its value? It doesn't. It's a 10 for 10, right? Most of the time. Some people have compared this to Old Spear Tip, which is a 12 for 12. But you have to keep in mind, Old Spear Tip has different synergies. It synergizes with monsters in a much more effective way. It gives them Thrive procs. And it's a huge body, right? So it's almost always guaranteeing you Thrive. And even then, Old Spear Tip is just a solid point slam card that Monsters has, right? So I would disagree by saying that you can compare these two directly. I don't think you should ever compare different faction cards like that, because the Scoundrel doesn't proc Thrive, right? You don't play this in Monsters. It's a Syndicate card. It has different synergies. So that's my opinion on the Scoundrel. I think it's a very good card that gives you information, that can brick your opponent's bronzes if you yoink the correct one correctly, and has a decent fee ability as well. The fact that you can target bounty units that are behind defenders or immune is pretty decent in my opinion. So yeah, that's my opinion on these Syndicate cards. I think, personally for me, there's some really interesting cards here. I think the most exciting one being Scoundrel and Confession Extractor. Just going to quickly go through them again. 4 out of 5, 2.5, maybe 3 in this case, 3 out of 5, and a 2.5 again. Maybe 2 in this case as well. So yeah, that's all the cards we've seen. And the neutral card, of course, a 4 out of 5, just because of how interesting this card is. Maybe realistically, Verification is a 3 out of 5, just in terms of flexibility. But I want to give it a 4 because it just seems so unique. Like, I love the neutral cards they've revealed so far for both the expansions. They just seem so unique, right? Even Dwimwendra, which may not see much play, but is an interesting effect. So yeah, that's all the factions, guys. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I think the most excited I am is for Skellige. I want to play Skellige really badly. And then probably Nilfgaard. But I also do have a monster deck that I want to play for day 1 once the patch comes out. And then for Scoia'tael, honestly, it's only Simless that seems really super good to me. Northern Realms seems overall kind of underwhelming, if I'm being honest. And then Syndicate seems pretty fun. Like, it seems interesting. So yeah, that's Thanedd Coup, guys. It's coming out in a few hours from recording this video. Super excited, and I hope you guys are too. Make sure you finish your Triss journeys, because that will be ending, and there is a new journey coming out today with patch 9.2, I believe this is now. So yeah, let me know guys if you guys agree with my thoughts on the 4 Syndicate cards and the 1 neutral card. If you disagree, again, please let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Take care.